Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I thought I'd come and say hello. Wish you a good day. This message, I'm going to continue this message about transcendental sciences, about the process of ascension, the inner development, the spiritual connection. For those who are not interested in those things, those message will have absolutely no meaning and sense. But for those who are, for we are all growing and developing this inner connection more and more each and every day. I wanted to remind you to work as much as possible if you have crystals, for like those little crystals. Those I brought them from Brazil when I was in Brazil, and and the crystal beans they're actually beans. Can be kind to them. They are living beings that have been around. Those little beings, they don't look like it, but they're hundreds of millions of years old, or at least dozens of millions of years old to become who they are. So they are intelligent beings that have accumulated so much understanding, so much knowledge, so much power, so much, and so they remind us of our crystalline form. And so treat them well. Sometimes they need to be cleansed because they record every emotion when we hold them. We have resource every emotion. They are recorder. They're also amplifier. And one day, in the near future, we're gonna rediscover the power of crystals. We want to be, it's gonna be the base, the root base for all our technologies. We're gonna discover that we can grow crystal in very specific condition to give them specific energetic function that will be able to provide for all kinds of service that they will do to mankind, and in accelerated fashion. In Atlantis they were already doing that, and so there's two places that are absolutely privileged to do that. We might be using that, or we may discover other ways to do it. But there is the crystal bed of Arkansas. It is like this huge cavern below Arkansas, and the crystal bed of Brazil. For there is another crystal bed in Tibet as well. But those places were the most important ones are the crystal bed of Arkansas and the crystal bed of Brazil. Those inner caverns where a lot of the sacred crystals of Atlantis were held, were moved from when, at the time of the final destruction, were moved to those caverns to be protected by Syrian beings, who were caretaker. They moved the crystal so they could be reactivated in due times. But so we'll be able to know that the crystals respond to unconditional love. They respond to psychic command. They can be open and they can be closed. They can be used in many functions. So treat them as friends. Treat them as real persons. They're beautiful little beings. My little amethyst here. Well, I have many other ones, but those are the ones I have on hand. And so do use crystals. When they will be able to, will return to a form of jewelry that will not be about just embellishment and say, look, I'm so pretty with jewelry. For jewelry makes us look good, eh? But they will have energetic function. I hope to be able to for they already exist, but I may want to be as part of my project to create those jewelry that will be energetically encoded and empowered. So when you wear them, they will assist your energy, enhance your energy. For they are enhancer in many sense. So I'm going to pull a few cards from those are the cards from my friend Sandra. Sandra, you may want to take a look at her work. She's a beautiful painter as well. Sandra Art on Instagram. And do not forget, if you're on Instagram, subscribe to my page. Soon I'm going to shift everything, and it's going to be a very brand new beginning for me. Of course, also all my social media communication and so on will be affected as well. So all will be shifted. The highest wisdom for us today. For Sandra wrote a really good book. If you're interested in connecting with your spirit guides, I recommend you read this book. I've started reading it. I haven't really finished, but everything will come in time. She's an incredible channeler as well, and it's called How to Connect with Your Spirit Guide by Sandra. It's on Amazon, I think. And there was those cards that come along with it. And so the highest wisdom for us today is limitation. It's how to understand the limitation and to disengage from those limitations slowly but surely. we cannot always disengage all the limitation that we feel we need. For instance, I started moving from tea to coffee, and I completely quit coffee, but then it came back very strong, and I started drinking a lot of coffee again. So now I'm doing like 1 cup of coffee every other day, and then I'm going to do 1 cup of coffee once a week, because sometimes you have to negotiate and go slowly in the process until you can completely free yourself from those limitations. I'm just using coffee, it can be anything else, but we need to disengage from all those things we feel is not longer appropriate in order to accelerate our fusion potential with our connected self. What we need to understand is the higher self, is connecting to our soul, our other soul, our spirit guides, and that will lead us to the connection to our I am presence. So our higher self, to become our higher self, to allow our higher self to be the dominant part within our experience, and the one that dominates, that moves our physical body, it moves our physical experience, and no longer be in this. So what we need to do is the direction. We need to keep that direction, to keep the north, to stay focalized on this purification process, on this ascension process, on developing the love, developing the light, and the wisdom within us. And the outcome will be the Pathfinder. It is a guide that we have. We have a master guide that works on the upper planes, that directs our spiritual path. And we have a Pathfinder guide that helps us, such as the angels, for instance. They could be considered part of our Pathfinder guides that will help us to navigate through the circumstances of our physical life in order to overcome certain obstacles that will allow us to remove those limitations. I hope this resonated with you. I wanted to say a few communicate on a few ideas. Then I'm going to pull a few cards from the chakras, about the chakras and the Akash. For a long time we were expecting outer shifts, things that will change the world, the first contact, great event, 3 days of darkness, changing of the monetary system, all those things. But all those things will come. What's most important is to address this inner shift, because if this outer shift that is right about to manifest is going to be happening very soon, is because there has been all those inner processes that everyone, all the light workers have been doing. And so very important to create the shift from within is where it needs to start. And every day we need to reconsider our reality, reconsider our truth, to know that we don't know. And we always have to move forward. We cannot rely on yesterday's truth. And because what is integrated is integrated, there is no need to remind ourselves of what we know already. Is it because we know? If we need to remind ourselves, it's because it's not yet integrated. So it's like, but do not judge yourself for anything. Just go with the flow, go with the process, follow your inspiration, your highest passion. What are you called to do each and every day? And because we seek to become who we truly are, but who we truly are today is different than who we were a year ago, or who we will be a year ago. So it's accepting that, to try to bring as much from the future and let go as much of the past. Because when we live in the past, we are sacrificing the present for the benefit of the past. And if we're sacrificing the present, we have we are not creating a future. We are submissive to some energy coming from the past. So let the past fall into the dustband of history, and stay in joy as much as possible. For joy is the fuel of the higher dimension. It is really what higher beings in the higher dimension. The big difference between the lower and the higher frequency of consciousness is those higher beings have moved into a state of total joy, total liberation, total bliss. And the more we ascend, the more the joy becomes intense. But it would be too intense for most people. Even for me, I felt like for a long time I was resisting. I was in resistance of freedom, a resistance of joy, a resistance of liberation, because it felt too strong, too good. But now I'm like finally accepting that. Well, it takes a long time to be ready, but there will be 3 phases of ascension. So whatever train, just your higher self will know which train you will take. But just be ready now. Just do whatever you can. Also wanted to say that it's not easy as a light worker to find a community in which you belong. Maybe easier in America, for I lived 20 years in America. It was a lot easier to communicate on extraterrestrial, the fairy realm, the inner earth, the unification of religion. For religious people, they all have their community where they're supporting each other. But for us light workers, it's not yet as easy because there is not these platforms. But soon there will be platforms around the world where the light workers chakras will be able to connect with each other and find collective project. For we have made agreement and the timelines are fusing. This collective timeline is being activated. Never think that you are less than God. Humility is good, but you can never be less than God. So it's like it's good to be humble, but not also to remind yourself like that you are very precious. Every thought, every good intention, every good deed has been participating in this. Even if we don't see the ins and outs, the cause and effect of all that we've done in the past, it's all been participating. The earth is with deep appreciation for those things, and we are very, very powerful, and we're essential. Each and every one of us is essential to the puzzle of creation. There is not a more important puzzle or less important puzzle. We are all important. And so I'm also discovering, slowly but surely, it's like for many, many years, the Archangel Michael has been talking about the adamantine particle. I'm like starting to open myself to those energies. Those adamantine particles are divine particles of creator light. And eventually we're going to be able to use it to manifest magic, to bridge the process of manifestation, to make magic happen. And those particles, we all have some particles that were stored, the creator has stored within each and every one of our chakras, for we have a whole... We have a reserve that's been put at the base of our spine that will be used for the activation of our light body when it is the time. And there is another great portion that was protected, that was in reserve in our sacred heart. For the sacred heart, we connect. It's called the thymus. In the physical plane, it's centered around the thymus, and the front portal is the throat and the back portal is the neck. And expose your neck to the sun. It's very important, if you can, not too much. But and so those particles of adamantine, once in light body, Michael explains that what we seek is to be able to contain as much as possible, to infuse our whole beings with those adamantine particles of creator light. And so this is the essence of what I wanted to communicate today. I hope this message will resonate with you, will have resonated with you. I'm going to pull a few cards just with the Akash and the 7 chakras, for we are on the brink of such an amazing transformation. Spirit says that there is still they're keeping surprises from me, but I know they are good surprises. They're good for it's like I'm coming back to my own self. I'm getting closer every day to this understanding, this realization of that connected self. So I'm going to pull 9 cards to cover the 7 chakras plus the Earth Star and the Soul Star. For at the base is the root. At the root there is the orphan. We feel like we've been disconnected from our source, but we cannot be disconnected from our source. It is an illusion that we've been maintaining. We have created the illusion that we could ever be separated from God, when God is just is everywhere. It's always been within us. It's always been without us, outside of us, and it's like it is above us, but it is also below, and it is within. So it's about reconnecting to this creating a means by which to communicate. If you call on God, God will respond. Be ready. If you call on the archangels, they will respond. Call on the ascended master, they will respond. Call on your guides, they will respond. Once we discover that, we find Egypt at the base. We find the root of our power. We'll integrate all the Akash. We'll return to this power, this understanding of eternal life. What we see on the navel, which connects us to all the astral plane and the earth planes, we have the transport. We are becoming a locomotive. We are set on the rail, and once we're on the rail, we cannot be deviating, and we're pulling all this energy behind us. So it is about being able to be seated in our I am presence, to allow ourselves to be transported. In our power center, the solar plexus, we have the wishes. The wishes, we have made wishes, and so we want to fulfill those wishes that we made prior to coming into incarnation, in order to manifest those things, to sign on self be true. What we see in the heart chakra, which is a neutral chakra, it's like the center of center. It's where And here we have a spirituality and religion. So if we have spirituality in the heart, it's like we are cleansing the heart. There is nothing but love that belongs in our heart. No fear, no hatred, no doubts. Everything should be that will be eliminated with those eclipses. There is a great deal of empowerment that is coming for those who are ready. Rather, if some people we intellectually won't say, "Well, I am ready," but so readiness. My master God explained to me long ago. Readiness is something deep. It's not just and there is always new strength that we can find within ourselves. So it is a process. Just be kind and patient and tolerant with anything that happens. On the throat chakra, where our communication center is knighthood. It's about being brave. It's about being noble. It's about being courageous. What we see in our third eye is a wonderful relationship. It's the bride and groom. It is about love. It is about harmony. It's about divine union, to be in divine union. And what crowns us on the crown is eventually we'll live. It's where we'll live. We'll ascend into from the cosmic realm to the celestial realm, and we'll establish our consciousness on top of our head. Here we have the Amerindian. So it may be connecting to America. For I loved America. I lived there 20 years. I have friends, I have family, I have businesses, I went to school. So I'm going to return to America. It's going to be wonderful. But it's also about living a simple life, to be integrated within nature. To the Amerindian lives, they're very ceremonial in their living. They're very respectful of life, they're respectful of nature. They're peaceful. They live in a circle. So it's about whatever that. It may be about past life that we had with the Amerindian. What is anchored below our feet in the Earth star, that's 12 inches below our feet, that connects us to the planet, to Mother Earth, that is anchored in our energy vortex. For it is good to always connect to this Earth star, you connected to the center of the planet, and your soul star, you connected to the great central sun above. Then eventually the lines of communication, the pillar of light, will eventually be given. Here we have wisdom. So how wonderful is that? So we're receiving wisdom from the earth, and we're giving out wisdom. For the earth need our wisdom, need our love, and she's giving us all that. So all of it as well. But she needs all our involvement, our service. And what crowns us today in the earth star chakra, in the soul star, is the monk or the nun. It means not dispersing your energy, not to keep the energy together, to be in a more contemplative state maybe, and this is really what will be coming down. It doesn't mean that this is the all in all, but it's about keeping your energy so that you can receive enlightenment and stay focused. From that enlightenment, your higher self will reveal to you what's essential and important at any given moment. Well, I hope this resonated with you. It can also mean that we want to disconnect all the vows. Of course, that this is all the vows of poverty or celibacy needs to be. We just want to follow the heart, but there is no more need for anything that could be done in a past life about these vows of poverty or celibacy. All this can be deactivated. We just need to follow our joy, follow our passion, follow our guidance. And so, I hope this message. I'm going to finish with a song and pull two more cards after. If I think about it, I'm sorry, yesterday I forgot. The paintings behind me here is a self-portrait, but with long hair. I have long hair. It's on cardboard, and here there is on the crown there is the soul that's being incarnated here on the crown. That's it. Those paintings will soon be framed and presented properly, and for they are very subtle and the details are very important. And this painting is a painting about Idantia. It's a symbolic painting of the center of our constellation, which is called Norliatadek. It is composed of 100 systems of world. Each system of world is composed of 1,000 inhabited planets. So Idantia is the headquarters for 100,000 inhabited world. And this is a celestial plane, a celestial planet that would hold the 172nd dimension, and it is the home of the constellation Father. They are the Varanandek beings. They are the most high. And so this planet Idantia this is a cluster, a cluster of world, architectural world that were created. They are not evolutive. They're divine, eternal systems of world that are here for administration and transition past towards in the ascension process. So Idantia was the name that was the Garden of Eden was taken from this as a memory of the beauty of that sphere that is Edantia. It's about 100 times bigger than the Earth. It is surrounded by 7 clusters, each of them, 7 clusters of worlds. Each of those clusters have 10 planets that are 10 times as big as the Earth, and each of those planets has 10 sub-satellites that are about the size of the Earth. And those are your spiritual university. We'll have to traverse on our ascension path. What I like about this painting, even if you don't understand, when someone would look at it without it, it's like a snowflake. It's like this great, it's got this snowflake quality. It's really nice. From 1997. It's a beautiful piece. I almost sold it once to a good friend of mine, but then it didn't. So I still have it. Sometimes it's nice to sell paintings, but it's also nice to keep them. I'm gonna finish with this song. It's a song that went through my head. It's a very old song that's speaking about letting go, and in time things get always healed. It's about also when in love, if love is not reciprocated, when love falls away, there is a new one that always comes along. So it's a very old song of folk music, American folk music. It's called "Oh My Darling Clementine." In the cavern, in the canyon, excavating for a mine, dwelt a miner 49 and his daughter Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Light she was and like a fairy, and her shoes were number 9. Herring boxes without topses, sandals were for Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Drove she ducklings to the water every morning just at 9. Hit her foot against a splinter, fell into the foaming brine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Rubbing lips above the water, blowing bubbles soft and fine. But alas, I was no swimmer, so I lost my Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Ah, I missed her, ah, I missed her, ah, I missed my Clementine, but I kissed her little sister and forgot my Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Well, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. I'm going to return soon. There's going to be such a great shift. It's like Spirit says I will be surprised. I'm sure you will be if you're following those videos as well. I'm going to pull 2 cards. The bottom cards, or the top cards, it says the Chariot is the Archangel Metatron. It is a beautiful card. It says determination and self-control, evolution of career, public recognition of a success. It is the goer, it is the chariot, it is the motion forward. And then the lower card is the 5 of Raphael. It says, each thing has its reason to be. Leave your regret behind and focus on the chance to access the happiness that is before you. Looking forward to be recomforted. So it's about letting go of all the past in order to be ready for this coming success. I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.